Hi, I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach parenting and communication as well as improving family relationships. I teach this all over the world through the lens of self-government. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what every new parent should know. Many parents miss the mark when it comes to parenting, and it's not because they don't have good intentions, because they do, but they simply don't know what they don't know. Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you one key thing that you can know, that you can do so that your parenting will produce the results that you want. Many parents want to have children who are more grateful, less entitled, more obedient, and who are united and attached to the family in really productive ways. So in this video, that's what we're going to be talking about. What is your vision for your family? So wise families usually create this picture of what type of a family they want to have. In fact, I remember when my children were all very young, my husband and I sat down and we made a 20-year vision. Now I know for some people the idea of a 20-year plan seems like, that's pretty unrealistic. How could you ever really even know what you're going to be creating and what your children will choose? But we wanted to pick what our family would feel like 20 years in the future. So we created something called a 20-year vision. We told it to our children as a bedtime story. It became our picture of who we were becoming as the Peck family. And you know what? It was actually really powerful. As I've now seen my children grow and get married, guess what they are doing? They are creating family visions even before they have children. So they are talking about what types of hopes and dreams they have for their families too. Now I know in our hearts we all have these little hopes and dreams of what we want for our family. So here you are, maybe with a young child or even a new baby, and you're thinking, okay, what do I do with this? Well, number one, make sure that you're clear on your plan, and make sure you talk to your partner too about what that plan is going to be for you as well. So that isn't our one thing though. That's just where we're starting from. We all want something, right? We all feel like that the home should be the safest place to make mistakes, that it should be a place of nurturing, learning, a place of safety and connection and bonding. That's what we want to have. In fact, good parenting should always lead you in that direction. But it should also have some other elements to it like consistency, good corrections, and a lot of training. So children, if they're left to run wild, actually will not draw as close to family as children who are consistently put on the right track and brought back into alignment with family standards and that family vision. So once you create that picture for your future, it actually becomes an instruction that the whole family is working toward. So what is this one thing then that you need to be focusing on in order to really make the difference in your parenting? That one thing is actually the principle of you, not them. So years ago, I decided that I was going to do something totally different with my children. And this is where I learned this concept of you, not them. All right, I'm going to be telling you this story about this weird decision that I never thought I would make, but before I do, hit that subscribe button. There is so much great content on this channel, all related to parenting and having good family bonds and relationships, and you definitely are not going to want to miss that. So hit the subscribe button now, and don't forget to also click that notification bell so that you'll get alerted when videos come out. So my dad was a public school teacher, and I loved education. In fact, I really thrived in school and everything else. So I never thought I would make a decision that I made. Years ago, I looked at my children and they were advancing in their schooling so much. By the time they were 3 years old, they were reading and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, I've already taught them to read. I mean, they're going to kind of be bored. In fact, they might even be troublemakers. Maybe I should just homeschool them. And so I started homeschooling my children, which was a decision I never thought I would make, but it actually turned out to be a pretty life-changing thing for our family and for me. I don't even know if I'd be the person I am today had I not gone through the educational process that I did with homeschooling. So, but when I was learning to homeschool my children, I actually was introduced to this concept of you, not them. So I read read a book. It was called A Thomas Jefferson Education. It was by Oliver Vandemille. And in there, he talked about the different principles of education and what type of education you might want to be going toward and what those different models looked like. And then I read his book called The Phases of Learning, where he talked about how to help children through these different phases. And within there, he shared key principles. These key principles were things like we want to inspire, not require. We want to focus on classics, not, just textbooks. And we want to have quality, not conformity, and stuff like that. But one key thing that really stuck out to me, probably more than anything else, was you, not them. That if I wanted my children to have a truly world-class education, I had to have one too. So when I said I wouldn't be the person I am today without choosing to homeschool my children, it's 100% true. Because even though I had college and all the other schooling that most people have, I actually had to get a real first-class, world-class education, and I had to do it myself. And so that was a life-changing experience for me. But I realized that with everything, if I wanted my children to be musical, I needed to be musical. If I wanted my children to eat broccoli, I needed to eat broccoli. If I wanted my children to learn good social skills, which many people worry about, especially homeschoolers, if I wanted my children to learn good social skills, I needed to teach them good social skills and show them what they look like and give them good opportunities to practice as we go around the community daily and all these kinds of things. So I had to be the example. So this is the missing piece. I think many people want their children to turn out well, but they don't want to examine themselves and make a change. So let's talk about some changes that you can make that don't only make you the best example, but also give them the lessons that they need. So a wise parent makes a plan. We decided to do treatment foster care years ago, and we took in troubled teens, and when we did that, we had to make more deliberate plans than we ever thought we would have to do. But it started this process of being very intentional and deliberate in our parenting, and it was one of the best things that we could have ever done. So we started teaching our foster children certain skills, and I realized that even though my foster children were between the ages of 12 and 18, these skills were going to be vital skills for me and my children. So I have these children's books, these 4 children's books. They each teach one of the 4 basic skills. So London LeRae teaches the skill following instructions. That is a 5-step process. You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. So each one of these other skills also has a skill set or steps attached to it, just like London LeRae. This one, Porter Earns a Quarter, teaches the skill set accepting a no answer or criticism. Paige Takes the Stage teaches how to disagree appropriately. This is their favorite skill. And then this one teaches Big Win for Quinn teaches accepting consequences. So a person can't learn self-government or self-mastery unless they get the opportunity to accept their consequences, which means they've got to be taught that skill. So how do these apply to you, not them? Well, they apply because you need to know these skills too. If you're going to give yourself an instruction, are you going to follow through? If you are going to give yourself a no answer about more chocolate or staying up late or whatever it is, are you going to accept that no answer from yourself? Or when the child is crying in the night, can you realize that when you go to get that child, you're just accepting a no answer, which means you can look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say, okay, and drop the subject. You don't have to think about it anymore. You don't have to take it personally. You can be self-governing. So these 4 basic skills are not just for the children, they're for you too. And if you use them, maybe in your relationships that don't relate to the children as well, in just your daily life, your children will learn that these are the skills that lead to maturity and success. So we don't just need the 4 basic skills for success, but also there are 5 teaching styles that will help you prepare to handle any difficult situation with the children. These teaching styles are taught on my Teaching Self-Government Parenting course, and you can find information about the TSG Parenting course at my website, teachingselfgovernment.com. So effective communication is huge in raising good children, and it starts with us. That's good news, And it's bad news. The bad news is it's probably harder for us to change our bad habits than to train them up with good habits in the first place. They can learn quicker than we can, so it's going to be harder for us. But the good news is every person can change if they choose to. So if you are choosing to change right now or choosing to learn some new skills that could help you, then be sure to go to teachingselfgovernment.com. I'll see you there.